Hi Sam, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Are you ready to learn how to play the snare drum?
Oh yeah.
Good. So the first thing we're going to do, may I have these sticks? Thanks. The first thing we're going to do has nothing to do with the sticks. I just want you to stick your arms out like you're a zombie. Straight up ahead? Yes, just like this. Now from here, I want you to draw back at the elbows. Awesome. Next thing is, have you ever bounced a basketball before?
Badly.
Good. Pretend now that you bounced it well, and bounce basketballs with both your hands. Sweet, you can relax. Now when we bounce a basketball, we don't bounce a basketball like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't bounce from the elbow. We let our wrists flick. So can you bounce again? Keep bouncing. Keep bouncing. Good. Good. Now, stop bouncing. And I want you to pretend that you just beat your friend in a game of rock, paper, scissors, and they played rock, so you played paper, right? Good. Now pretend that you just lost, and they played paper, so you played rock. So open your hand, clench your fist, open your hand, clench your fist. Now, I want you to turn your hands upside down, and pretend like you are a dramatic character in a movie, and you just died, and you do the slow uncurling thing. And you just let your hands kind of curl, as if you were a dead human. Good. Hands back over. Let's bounce one more time. And relax your out. Whew. Whew. And let's review. Zombie arms. Bring it back. Bouncing the basketball. Relaxing the hands. Good. Good, good, good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to hold the stick. So which handed are you? Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right.
You're right-handed. So give me your left hand. Don't actually give it to me. Just take your left hand out. And we're going to learn with our left first, so that it's no problem. Take this stick. Go ahead and hold it. And what I want you to do is I want you to find, with your left hand, the balancing point on the stick. Because when we play the drums, we have to have a balanced grip. So can you find the spot where the stick doesn't fall forward or backwards? Good. Now, if you play drums like this, with the stick not falling forwards or backwards, that's no good.
No.
So which way do you need the stick to fall?
Mm.
If the stick's going to fall so I can hit something, where's it got to go?
Down.
Down. So can you find where the stick wants to go down? Good. Great job. You know your levers. And a good way to double check yourself is if you take your two fingers on both hands and you cut the stick in thirds.
Mm.
You should have your fingers about where that bottom third is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So now we know where to hold the stick. Now we have to talk about how to hold the stick. We have one hand, but really these hands, three different things, 3 layers of support. The first layer of support, the front fulcrum, is going to be our index finger and our thumb. Make the L. Like a loser. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumb, you're going to put it like your thumb is also the drumstick, like you're trying to hitchhike. Yeah, straight up the middle of the stick, pointing to this guy, which is the bead. And then from here, you're going to take your left hand, your left finger, I'm sorry, and just gently wrap it around. You see? Good, so you're a little low. Can you bring your finger straight with your thumb? Right, so if I took a nail and I nailed through your thumb, not only would you be very sad, but if I went all the way through the stick, I would also nail through about this part of your finger. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Good, so here's our front fulcrum. Our middle fulcrum is these 2 fingers, our middle finger and our ring finger. And they're just going to wrap around the stick as well. And then ring finger actually does double duty because it's also part of the back fulcrum. And now just wrap the pinky around as well. And go ahead and hold that for a second. And let me take the drumstick out. Keep the... Good. Use your drumstick. Take mine. Take it. See how easy that is?
Yeah.
So when you hold the stick, you want to think more cradling the newborn and less strangling a bear.
Okay.
Okay? So again, can I just take this stick from you? Good. Put the sticks down. Zombie arms. Bring it back. Bounce the basketball. Good. Hand. Thumb and index finger. Middle and ring. Ring and pinky. Now, with this, I just want you to bounce basketball. Feel everything so relaxed. Good, good, good. Pick the stick up with the left hand. Thumb and index finger in line, thumb pointing up the stick. Back fulcrum in contact with the stick, middle fulcrum, front fulcrum. Good. Now, as you are a human with a wrist, you know that your wrist can go lots of different ways. So we have to talk about how our wrist is going to go when we actually are doing the drum. To do that, we're going to learn 3 different grips. Are you ready?
Okay.
Good. The first grip is called the French grip. So you remember your thumb? Our lovely thumb that goes up to the bead. I want you to take your thumbnail and point it to the sky. Great. You know the French grip. Congratulations. And from here, don't worry about hitting anything. I just want you to air drum. Good. So you get a sense of how the wrist moves. Excellent. You can stop. Now that we're going to keep with the pointing to the sky idea, but now I want you to point your wrist, the back of your wrist, to the sky. Good. This is the German grip.
Okay.
And characteristics of the German grip include, if I had a penny right here, it would not slide in either direction, and your elbow is going to be cocked out just a little bit, like you're flirting with having a chicken wing.
Okay.
And now I want you to experiment, and I want you to bounce, and I want you to see how your wrist moves. Good, so you're getting the general idea of it, and that's stellar. So you've learned the French grip, go back to French. You've learned the German grip. Now we're going to learn the American grip.
Okay.
Because you know, we Americans, we have to be special. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back French, and then rotate your wrist all the way to German. And wait for me to say everything before you start. Rotate your wrist back to French, but go until you feel your arm loosen up. And you should feel your wrist just kind of click. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we go here to German, can you feel anything around here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you feel that tension.
Yeah.
So now just go to French until you feel that go away. And so we're not all the way at French, we're not all the way at German, we're at a nice little American grip. Cool? So here, I want you to experiment with how the wrist goes when you air drum. What I'm seeing is that you're still drumming with a French style, where the wrist rotates this way. I want you to think a little bit more German. Take your right hand, grab your forearm, now just the wrist. Good. Good, that's much better. Put the stick down. Zombie arms. Bring it back. Bounce the basketball. Relax the hands. Bounce the basketball. Good. Now when you bounce basketball, you don't bounce basketball like this. You bounce basketball like this. Excellent. Freeze! Whoosh. Don't really freeze, just chill. Go to French grip. Go to German grip. Go to American grip. And now here, I want you to bounce basketball. Just a little bit. Good. Now from here, we're going to stop bouncing basketball, and we're just going to pretend to drum. However you want. Excellent. Check me out. So when I'm air drumming over here, I'm not moving just from my wrist. I'm not moving from my elbows. I'm moving from a good, healthy amount of both. And that healthy amount is about 95% here. And the elbows, they just move because they're attached to the wrists. Does that make sense? The wrists are moving, they're grooving, they're having a good time. So the elbows, they get in on the action a little bit, but they're not driving it at all. The wrists are driving the party bus here. That make sense?
Mhm.
Good. So let's review one more time. Zombie arms. Bring them back. Bounce basketball. Stop. French. German. American. Bounce basketball. Now air drum. Excellent. Looking nice and fluid. Go ahead and grab the stick again with your left hand. Review your 3 fulcrums. We're ready to make a sound. So French, and German, and American. Slide this pad over. We're going to hit the pad, not the table. And I just want you to make a sound. Good again. Awesome. Awesome. We're going to learn some stuff. You ready to learn some stuff?
Okay.
So the first thing is I'm seeing a little too much arm in your stroke. When we hit it, it's a stroke. Not enough wrist. Does that make sense? Keep doing that. Let me get a view from this side. Okay. I think what'll help you out is with your left hand, when you cradle it, make sure that your fingers are in contact with the stick the entire time. Good. Now do you notice how you're starting with your wrist up here, and then you're moving your whole forearm down? Start with your wrist down here, and just use the wrist. Good. Good. Next thing to address is you're doing this right now. I'm over-exaggerating, of course, but what you're doing is you're hitting the pad, and you're trying to get the sound to happen here in the pad. And that's wrong, unfortunately. What you have to do is you have to hit the pad, and then you have to suck the sound whoosh, out of the pad. So just, however much your wrist wants to do it, that's comfortable and large. I want you to think about sucking the sound out of the pad. Good. That's much better. Now check out your hand. It started well, and then it just kind of dissolved. So I want you to think about keeping your hand in place and letting the wrist do everything. Good. Now, the hand stayed in place and stayed in a great French grip. So we have to keep an American grip, which means that your wrist isn't going to move from the thumb up, it's going to move more from the first knuckle. And this kind of angle. Does that make sense? Can you do that? Let's go just a little slower. Can you do that? Good. Now, this problem's come back again.
Yeah.
All from the wrist. Good. Can you just put your stick out and make your wrist flat? Not like a German flat. Let your wrist be an American grip and let the stick sit flat. Now bring your wrist back all the way. Get that tendonitis going. Bring the wrist back all the way. Now relax it until it just feels like this is as high as it wants to be. From here, I want you to think about this being a party and this being homework. And you want to get your homework done and get back to the party as soon as possible. Can you do that? Good. You're spending too much time doing homework. Party more. Good. So start up here and let's just do 8 of these. Good, good. Now this is more or less what we call a legato stroke, because we get big sound, and since we're not making any tones with our air or with a bow or with a string, This is the closest we can get to a sustain. Note to note. Big, full sound, bringing the sound out of the head. And here's the new news. Throwing the stick from our back fulcrum. You see how I can get two different kinds of pitches from the stick? A high one and a low dark one. So what I want you to do now is I want you to throw it from your front and get a high one, and then throw it from your back and get a lower one. Can you do that? Just sliding into French a little bit, just turn the wrist over. And so what I mean by that is the first time you're going to squeeze, not squeeze, but you're going to wrap these around, and this is going to be what the stick pivots. And it's going to be a higher sound. And then you're going to keep all your fingers on, and you're going to relax here a little bit, and you're going to firm up here so the stick has this much longer to move. And it's going to be nice and dark and low. Can you do that? So first high, and then low. Good. Good. That's something that we're going to work on more in our next lesson. So the last thing we're going to do today is I'm going to give you both of these sticks. Then I'm going to walk over to my handy dandy second pair of sticks. And we're going to do this. So go ahead and put the stick in your left hand, get a nice American grip, and copy everything we learned to our right hand. Good. Now when you can go ahead and use the pad. When you put the sticks up to the pad, go ahead and do that. Perfect. You already get the nice triangle frame. And then we're just gonna, with our left hand first, do 8. Can you do that? Can you bring your thumb closer to your index finger? So instead of this gap being there, can you make them snug? Thank you. And then turn your wrists over just a little bit to an American grip. And then on our right hand, let's see how our right hand does. We're going to do 8. Wonderful. Now we're just going to do both. Good. That was great. The sound was consistent throughout both hands. You were playing at a consistent legato stroke height, and you were playing at a consistent speed and velocity, which is stellar. Now just one last thing we're going to do, we'll be done. Left, right, both. Good. High five. You can play the snare drum.
Yay.
Thanks, Sam.